Hey guys, this is overwelmingly here today doing my review on Bleach, manga chapter 497. And this week's Bleach chapter was really awesome. It was a really enjoyable chapter, even though much has not happened with with the actions that's been going on lately. But what did happen was that the pretty much the Shingami, the captain's bunkai, had been stolen by the Quincies with their little artifact that the Quincies are able to use in order to steal the bunkai. And pretty much like what happens here is that Mayuri gets really mad because despite the fact that he's like, yo guys, why couldn't y'all just wait for me to get some info, to get some information and analyze what's been going on so I can get this information to you so it can be helpful. And that's what I was kind of a little bit mad too. Like I wasn't like really mad. I was just like, yeah, like I was kind of like agreeing with Mayuri. Like why didn't y'all wait? I mean, I think they were kind of being a little bit reckless due to the fact that they didn't know who they were up against in the aspect of power and ability. And also, when Renji was about to use his bunkai, like, dude, your captain's bunkai just got stolen, so what makes you think your bunkai is going to do any better? You see what I'm saying? Like, Renji doesn't have that thought process where he just doesn't stop and think. He's more action than words, or I should say more action than thinking. Then we get to where Tushiru is trying to communicate with his Zanpakuto, Hurimaru, but it really doesn't respond. And I think what happens here is that pretty much, like, we already know the whole thing with the Shikai and Bankai. You have to communicate with your Zanpakuto. Yeah, you get strong. Like you and your Zanpakuto are like two different souls, but together as one soul. So pretty much get even stronger and progress. And as for Bankai, you pretty much get 100 years of training and subject your Zanpakuto or Bankai. But they stolen that, so I'm guessing they stolen the main source or essence of the material, no, not material, I should say the manifestation form of the Zanpakuto, which I believe makes them not be able to communicate with them. Maybe they stolen the whole essence of the Zanpakuto's being, and they're just now having a regular Zanpakuto where they started. So that's just my thought about that. And pretty much what happens, what also continues on with the chapter, is that Yamamoto's about to head out. One of the guys, Akone, that's his name, Akone, pretty much from Mayuri squad, tries to contact Ichigo, and one of the other guys, scientists, is like, but we can't do that because we need permission in order for us to get contact with Ichigo. And to me, at this point, I was like, well, you're going to Ichigo because Ichigo, as we know, is like the trump card. Okay, he's like the ultimate defense behind the big defense. And pretty much he's like the main key, or could be the main solution of the whole war that's been going on lately. So maybe it is a good idea to call him, but not just yet because he's fighting another Quincy named Kaguri. So yeah, I think what's going to happen with that though is that Ichigo's going to finish up his battle with Kaguri, and he's going to, I guess, hear the contact of this from the Soul Society and go there and fight alongside with them. Maybe that's what's going to happen, or maybe Uryu later on might actually go to the Soul Society, infiltrate with Ichigo. Like, I'm assuming. Like, this is all speculation, my thoughts of what I think is going to happen. And we pretty much we also in this chapter also see where we have all these Shingami and a certain squad, and their main leader, their main, like, the strongest member in the whole squad, well, not strongest, but the highest seat officer, pretty much gets easily defeated by this Quincy. I forget his name, but he's like, I'm assuming he's like the captain's main, like, lieutenant, like right hand man, if you may will. And he's telling them, like, and I'm kind of surprised that the boss, he's just saying, go, you can finish him off if you want to, but the boss was like reckless and cold-hearted. Like, he didn't care. He didn't even care anything at all, and he's just letting his lieutenant do all walks. I say all walks. I'm gonna say all the work. and instead of him just going there too and finish him off immediately. But who knows? Maybe he does have some conscious feelings or emotions in him. We also get to where one of the strongest captains and oldest captains of Soul Society, Kuraku, fights one of the Quincies. He's like a middle-aged man who kind of almost as old as Uryu's grandfather was. And what I see here is just crazy because think about Kuraku is like the strongest, one of the oldest and strongest Shingami Soul Society. Yeah, you have this Quincy who just easily to slice off your eye. I don't know if it was sliced off, but it was completely severely wounded, like blood, the whole bloody gore of his eye, of his, I think it was his right eye. Yes, his right eye. And I'm just saying, I'm like, oh my goodness, how is Quincy doing this? And we get like a little, like when he does his technique, the Quincy, it appears like he has wings, like spiritual wings that could be his holy form. I'm assuming, or maybe they are able to make their holy form of a certain level, because Kaguri, who's fighting Ichigo now, he did his full complete holy form, and I think this guy's just doing like half of it, maybe 50% of the holy form's actual power, or I should say release. But yeah, Kuraku, I hope he comes up with a plan now, because things are not going so well with Soul Society. Soul Society is just getting thrashed, like completely annihilated right now. And this is pretty much that was the end of chapter. Yeah, that was the end of all for this chapter. I say it was really good. Soul Society is in a really bad spot. They have no corners to go to. Actually, yeah, no corners to go to. Like nowhere to go whatsoever. And they're just completely almost about to lose it and about to lose faith or hope. What I think is going to happen in the future chapter, maybe since Soul Society is in a tight spot, they might, like Grinja might come back. Like, no, not come back. Actually, he will probably go to Soul Society to repay back what the Quincy's did in Wakamundo. Because it is stated later on, like, Kubo did mention that Grinjo's going to come back sooner or later. And we saw a little picture at the very beginning of the chapter of the pages. We see a picture of Ichigo, Uryu, and Grinjo. So he might come back. Who knows? Well, no, he will come back at some point. That's what I meant. Yeah, so, tell me, y'all guys, oh yeah, my thoughts. I still gotta continue myself. I keep forgetting these things. What I also think is going to happen is that we might see the actual Soul King for the first time. Because these opponents are way too overpowered, and they're even probably, some of them are probably near Aizen level, or at least even close. And you have even the strongest Quincy, who Yamamoto failed to kill 1,000 years ago. So yeah, I don't think Captain Yamamoto is going to be able to handle this on his own. He is old and powerful, but yet again, he's not at his prime. So I think the Royal Guards are going to come down. Soul King's probably going to show up at some point if everything fails. And I think, yeah, Ichigo will be there, I'm assuming. And Kenpachi, yeah, I want to see from Kenpachi and Yushiro. I want definitely the most important thing I want to see is Yushiro fighting as well. Because during the whole course of Bleach, she was not fighting. Like, she has speed and power, but it's just like, what's good with all that if you're not gonna be able to show it, you know? But Kenpachi, hopefully he fights eventually. Well, no, correction, Yushiro fights eventually. Oh yeah, and Kenpachi in his heart. Yeah. So that's all for this chapter. Thumbs up if you like this video for motivation for me to make more reviews. Yeah, guys, comment, rate, subscribe, and this is Albert 25. Have a nice day, everybody.